Please don't stop the music.
8:05 on Channel 95.7. Connie and Curtis, 57 degrees right now. We're looking at a high of 76 today and sunny.
I have more information about the which female comedian are you? Ellen took the quiz and apparently got Chelsea Handler, which is pretty funny because Ellen is not Chelsea Handler.
Right.
I took the which female comedian quiz are you? You thought I'd be Rosie O'Donnell, which
who
really
are you?
hurt my feelings. I got Maya Rudolph. Says I'm a bundle of funny fun, a jack of all trades, master of mimicry, all-around charmer on screen, just as strong as a leading lady, as a quirky best friend, and despite my hotness, I'm relatable, down to earth, and universally adored.
Well, I don't understand why you like that. That doesn't sound like you at all.
I like being adored. Right?
Yeah, you do like being adored.
And good at everything. So if I were to be a female comedian.
And humble. Humility should be in there, too, because that is one of your best traits.
I would be Maya
your
Rudolph.
humility.
Bundle of funny fun is what it says. Mm-hmm. All around success. Strong is what it says. Quirky. Yeah. Extreme hotness. Like, it's good stuff. This is a good one. I got a good one.
You should probably print it out and, hang it somewhere.
Frame it.
And
yes, frame it.
Maybe I will.
You should.
Maybe I will. I'll print it and I'll put it right here. Curtis got Maya Rudolph, and it'll just be on the wall here for everyone to see.
It was funny because it's something that you said in there reminded me of having a conversation with an intern the other day, and he was talking about a friend of his that was so successful, and I said, so what does that mean? What does that mean when you're so successful?
Okay.
And his first answer was, he made a lot of money.
Okay, money is good when you're a young intern.
But then he sat and thought about it for a second, and he said, well, he's making a lot of money, but he's doing what he loves.
Wow.
So he's doing what he loves, and he's making a lot of money. But I thought that was very interesting that the first thing he thought, like when you hear somebody's very successful, the first thing he thought was, yeah, he makes a lot of money.
I would think that too. If you said he's a successful lawyer, I would not think, he wins most of his cases. I would think he has a lot of money. Mm-hmm. If you said he's a successful ball player, I wouldn't think, he gets a lot of hits. Mm-hmm. I would think he makes a lot of money. And maybe that's just a guy thing. Do you think that too? Money, when somebody says that they're successful?
I mean, I think I used to, because I always talked about how my siblings were far more successful than me.
Okay.
Because they've always made more money than me.
Okay.
Always continue to make more money and will always make more money than me. But then
you got to see behind the curtain.
I realized how fun my career is.
Okay. Yeah.
And so that's not my barometer anymore.
So success to you is not money because you've seen how happy you are and how miserable they all are.
And then they're not miserable, but I think I get far more joy every day than they do.
Well, you're more joyful.
But that's my joy.
Right.
You know what I
mean?
mean?
Would not like this.
Like my brother John would hate this.
Hanging out with me?
No. Yeah.
Your brother John would hate hanging out with me?
He would hate doing this every day.
Every morning, talking and just chilling?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, I think most of my siblings would. My sister would too.
What about you, Amanda? How do you if someone says successful, what do you think?
I'm money.
Money.
Yeah. You have a lot of money.
And that could be a young thing, because I always thought that when I was young too. Except for you're not young.
No, I am not young. I'm far from young. And I think if you say successful,
you're not old, but
successful businessman, I don't think that you're like doing a lot of corporate takeovers. I think you're making a lot of money. You can do what you want. Success to me, I think, is being able to do what you want in your spare time because you have done well at your job.
So according to you, I am not successful.
No, you do what you want in your spare time.
No, if I did what I want, I would be spending money like a crazy person, but I can't.
That what you want would be to spend money? That's your number one goal?
No, you didn't say number one. You said do what you want.
Do what you want. It's not spending money.
Something that I like. Yeah, I like to do that. I like to shop. Okay. And if I was rich, I would shop all the time.
Then you are not a success in my eyes.
Not successful.
I've deemed you unsuccessful here.
That's very sad.
I'm so sorry.
Actually, it's not sad at all because it really doesn't matter what you think.
Now, Amanda, you're quite successful because you get to do whatever you want. You walk out of here and you got the world is your oyster.
I guess.
You do everything. So,
do you feel successful, Amanda?
Yes, I do feel successful. However, I wouldn't say I walk out of here and do what I want to do. Like yesterday, I completely forgot to do the laundry, and I got scolded for that.
Well, yeah, but you didn't want to do the laundry. You went and did what you want to do.
Right, but usually I go home and I do things like that. Like I keep my household running.
If you could leave here today and do anything you wanted to do, what would it be? yet still come back here tomorrow morning.
Probably go to like an amusement park and ride a roller coaster would probably be what I would want to do.
Michigan's Adventure right down
you
the
could
road.
go right there.
Make it happen.
Yeah, but I don't think I could go do that today. I have other stuff I have to do.
Okay, you're a busy lady.
Right.
Okay.
So you're not successful then in Curtis's eyes.
Nope, I have deemed you also an unsuccessful
Neither
person.
one of us is successful.
You both are.
In Curtis's eyes.
Probably you're both the most unsuccessful people that I have ever met. From the way you're answering this question.
If you could leave today and do whatever you want to do, what would it be? Go to the beach?
I'd be at the beach, yeah. And I'm going to be. See, that's what I got.
And that's one of my things that I would like to do.
Okay.
Not the beach necessarily, but my pool, and I can do that.
And that's kind
But
of
there isn't just one thing that I want to do. There are lots of things I want to do.
See, then you're not successful. I am. Of the three of us, I am the only success.
You're the most successful
I'm
out
the
of the
only.
three of us.
The only.
In your
successful.
eyes, because I think I'm successful.
Not the most. The only.
In your eyes. And Amanda, you feel successful.
Yeah, I do.
It's not really believable.
She's asking a question, is what, is what she's asking.
I do feel successful. But it's funny because I say like, whatever.
No. Say
what?
it.
Yeah, talk.
You say what?
It's
Like
just
I
us.
think to myself, well, the person has a lot of money. Like if they're successful, and I wouldn't say I have a lot of money, I have enough that I can live my life
Right.
comfortably.
What if they're
But I'm not.
miserable though?
Right.
What if they're miserable and they're staying in a job because they make so much money and that's the lifestyle that they're used to? So they have to because they can't afford to step back.
I think like
and they're
being
miserable.
good at your job and liking your job are two different things. So like if you're really good at it but you hate it, you're still successful at it.
Right. And where I am really bad at it, but I love it, it gets me going, right? I've got this. Being successful doesn't mean that you love your job. That's a nice benefit, and
Right.
If being successful is being
Well, that's
good
what
at
I'm
your
saying.
job.
Look, it means something different to
Right.
every single
Right.
one of us has a different view of what being a success is.
Right.
And if you ask people if they think you're successful or I am or Amanda's, who
Yes.
knows? They
I
might
am,
say yes.
and you guys are not.
They might ask what we make a year. They might, you know what I mean? Who
Right.
knows? That might be the deciding factor.
And that would be fine.
I think as long as you think yourself, as long as you think you're successful, then that's all that matters.
Well, isn't there?
Who cares
There's a
what
whole
everybody else
there's a
thinks?
whole book about like that, right? Think it, and it will become the
Secret?
thing. Is that what it's
Yeah.
called?
The Secret?
That's what you're doing. I mean, you could be as long as you think you're successful. It doesn't matter if you can't cut those potatoes to save your life. As long as you think you're doing a good job at it, you're successful. Until your boss comes and sees you, and then he's like, "You're out of
Like
here."
there was a period after I went to Central that my parents were like, "What are you doing?" They just couldn't fathom that I was
Okay.
making such little money doing this because nobody in my family was anything like this. Like you had your dad.
Right, yes.
Not mine. My brother's a doctor. My
Yeah.
other sister works for the Joint Chiefs of Staff. My brother, I mean, they're very, in my head, successful.
Very successful.
And so my parents were like, "What are you?" And I was like, "Just hang on."
Right. I'll make
Just
it.
hang on. It's going to make me or break me.
Yes,
I'm either
and-
going to have a very happy life or I will go do something else.
And we're still waiting to find out what happens. We're right on the edge. We're teetering. We don't know where we are
just
right now.
hang on, Mom and Dad.
Just any minute. I'm just one break away. I've
but
got
now
this.
that I've ended up back in Michigan,
They love it.
my mom thinks I'm super successful.
Funny.
She totally does.
You got to pick it here. You're lucky.
Well, I came home.
You came back to see us.
Came home.
Yeah, notice I came 2.5 hours away from you. I'm not in the
I
same
didn't point
town.
that out.
Want to be part of
827 at Channel 95.7. Welcome to Thursday morning.
It is so sunny right now.
Ah!
Loving it. But
Was it humid this morning? I don't think it was it?
It was not. It was crisp
nice
and cool.
crisp. It's awesome. 57 degrees right now.
It was in the 40s. People were loving it.
Sunny and 76 is the high today.
That's all we need, right?
Tomorrow the high's 80.
Woohoo! I'll take 80. Mm-hmm. I'll take 80. I'll take 90.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, there's a chance of rain every single day.
Oh, like a chance though, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not going to be
Chance
raining.
of a thunderstorm,
Thanks a lot.
which is kind of like every day in the
It's
summer.
like summer, right? Because it gets hot
Can't
and
really
then,
plan around that.
and then it rolls in, and you're like, "Hey, look, some clouds." Then lightning, and then you're done.
Have you heard of this new app called M Couple?
I've not. M couple. What does it do?
It's a tracking application.
Okay.
You put it on, let's say if you got it, you would put it on your phone and Katie's phone.
Okay.
And then you could see every single text message that she sent. She could see yours as well.
Wow.
You could monitor each other's call logs and call history.
Okay.
You can log into everything. You can find out where they currently are.
I love that. That's great for kids.
You can get it for kids too. You can read the messages that they exchanged with other Facebook members.
Oh, so can I read pretty much everything?
Every single thing that she pretty much does on her phone, you can see it.
I can see.
Yeah.
I love that.
Do you love it?
That is great for kids. Like, I should get that
Not for
Haley
kids.
today.
I'm talking about for your wife.
For Katie, no, I don't really care what she's saying to people.
Right.
But for Haley, I would definitely want it for Haley.
Well, the problem is the app is free, but you have to spend $39 a month and subscribe.
To get the data?
Yeah.
So it tracks it all, but they won't give it to you
Unless you pay
them
$39 a month. Yeah. But it is great for kids.
It still might be worth it.
Yeah.
That would be good for, like I would use it for kids. Amanda, I could see using it for Mike. But here's the double-edged sword with that then, Amanda. He sees everything that you send.
Right.
So then that's troublesome because anytime you send a text bad-mouthing him, he sees it. Anytime you vent to a friend on Facebook, he sees it. You don't get to have the one-on-one conversations anymore.
Right.
It's like he's always in the room.
Would you want to see everything he had to say?
Not really. No.
What would be worse, you seeing everything that he says or him seeing everything that you say?
Probably him seeing everything I say because I feel like I complain about him a lot more than he complains about me.
Okay.
You don't complain about him.
I have not noticed that once. What about you, Connie? What would be worse? What's the negative to that app? Him seeing everything you say or you having to see everything that he says? All the stupid things, all the just everything.
It would probably pain him more to see everything I say because he's
for you. What is worse for you? The fact that he sees everything you write or the fact that you have to see everything he writes?
He doesn't really use his phone all that much. So
when he does, it could be...
Yeah, he's not on Facebook. He's kind of boring that way.
So him seeing you.
Him seeing mine probably.
Would be, and I think...
But he would, again, be so like, oh, this is ridiculous. I mean, he would read half of one of my texts to one of my friends and be so bored and like just over it that he wouldn't even finish reading it because he would be like, you guys are idiots.
So when you are talking to your friends and he's sitting there, is he just kind of looking at the wall or staring off into space?
No, he's always doing something else.
He leaves.
Always.
He's found an excuse to get up every single time.
He is always doing something. You know, like when Dan and his buddies text, they're like, hey, dude, at this bar made me think of you.
Right.
Hey, dude, golfing at this golf course made me think of you. Cool is his response.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my girlfriends and I write novels.
Right.
We text novels to each other if something is going on.
But you have the strongest thumbs of anyone I've ever
yes,
met.
absolutely.
So we do have that
but
going.
he would hate that. Mr. One Word Answer
having
would
to
hate
see
it.
everything that you wrote.
Oh, he would hate it.
And then
he'd be so bored.
Do you think that you would change the way you talk to your friends, knowing
No.
that Dan saw every single thing that you were writing?
No.
Amanda, how about you? Would you change the way that you were communicating? Like, let's say you're texting Margaret.
Right.
Would you say different things to Margaret, or would you be more vague with, like, plans?
I probably would, well, not plans, but I probably would censor myself a little bit more knowing that he's seeing what I'm saying about him.
Right.
I probably would keep that to, like, face-to-face conversations.
Dan
from
still
there
doesn't
on
care
out.
what I have to say that he wouldn't even look.
He wouldn't even
Like
use it.
if I was like, oh, babe, I got this app.
Right.
Da-da-da-da. Explain it to him. He'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
He would never look at it.
You got it, I got it, it's on, and he would never
He
see
would
it.
never look at it.
And-
And I would be bored by his.
Right.
Cool. Okay.
Well, I can see that going
No.
wrong, though, where, like, let's say that he's supposed to be doing some big project in the
Okay.
house, and then you see that he texts somebody that he's at a bar. You know, then you're like, well, wait a minute. You're supposed to be at home working on this. Or you said you were going to Ace, or you're going to Meyer. Now here you are. You're watching the game with your buddy, or want to meet up
He's at
later.
Gun Lake.
Yeah, exactly. Want to meet up later? And he says, sure. And you're like, well, you don't have time to meet up. Then you kind of have to, like, patrol that, too.
No.
Like, when are you going to do this? You don't have time for that.
No.
You're busy.
No.
I'd be very careful
This
with
would
that.
be a waste of money for us to get this
I love
app.
it for the kids, though.
That is great for the kids.
If I could see everything.
Isn't there something you can do
Not that I know
for
of.
kids that's free?
Not that where I can
No.
see everything that they do on their
Yeah.
phone. I don't think
Yeah.
so. Unless I like install mirrors and cameras in every corner of the room.
No, but I
In
mean
the
on their
house.
phone.
Not that
There's
I know
nothing.
of.
Okay.
I don't think that there is a log that I get of everything. This would be the perfect way.
Yeah.
And you'd install it and
But then-
not tell
yeah.
them.
Right.
Because
Right.
you don't want them looking at your thing
Oh, absolutely.
at all.
Well,
right?
you don't.
No, I don't. Absolutely, I do not want. I don't think any parent wants their kid looking at what they are writing. Anyone. And they're like, oh, my kid's my best friend. Well, that's a mistake. Seriously, separate yourself from your
No,
kid.
I'm talking about things you look at. You definitely don't want your daughters to
No,
see that.
no,
Do you look
not-
at that stuff on your phone?
On my
Or is that
phone.
just on your work computer?
Phone, work computer, home computer, laptop, the library, friends'
Smart
computer,
TV.
smart TV, the Roku, the Apple TV,
Okay.
the Nook, the iPad, the iPod, the
Anything-
iPod Touch.
Anything you can get your hands on.
Anything I can get my hands on that can connect to the internet, that's what I'm looking at.
That's funny.
I have a site that has funny galleries, but then
Yeah.
also sexy galleries too.
Okay.
And I will find myself looking at on Wednesdays they have Hump Day.
Okay.
And it's just butts. Okay.
Oh.
So then I will be scrolling through butts, and I was at the YMCA. We're at a basketball tournament, and I'm looking at butts on my phone, and I'm like, this I probably should not be doing. And I'm on their server,
Yeah.
I'm on the Wi-Fi.
Do you
I'm
even
like,
try to hide it? Like if somebody's in the bleachers behind you?
No, I'm just
No.
going through and I'm like, I can't be looking at butts here.
And you're not even a butt guy.
No, they have a boob
guy.
one too.
Oh.
Future lower back problems, they call it. and I just scroll through that. I mean, I love it.
What a great name.
Yeah.
That is
So then you don't know what
awesome.
it is if you're just looking. Like, I was looking at the future lower back problems.
That is such an appropriate name.
That guy's probably concerned about his well-being. No, I'm just looking at busty women.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, you find yourself at a soccer tournament and you're scrolling through that. It's like, well, I probably shouldn't look at this here with all the kids running around
Oh, that is hilarious.
and on the
Curtis.
Wi-Fi. But
And not surprising at all, I don't think.
no. I'm a blank slate.
What is it called again? Future lower back
Yeah,
problems?
yep.
Is that a website? Like
no,
future...
that's the category that is the boobs.
Okay.
It's good stuff.
That is hilarious.
Gets it done. I'll scroll through some for you. You can take a look.
Oh,
They're
okay, good.
Very
Thank
nice.
you. Thank you.
Connie and Curtis. Once a day. Call now to participate in this nationwide risk-free trial. 1-800-906-9985. That number again is 1-800-906-9985.
WLHT
FM and HD1.
Grand Rapids.
A Pop Crush radio station.
Connie and Curtis in the morning, and you mix it weekends. Online at mychannel957.com.
The new Channel 95.7.
Oh, boy.
That right there is the Thunderer. That's what I'm going to be conducting tomorrow night at the D&W Fresh Market Picnic Pops. Got my first taste of the baton last night, a little rehearsal, and I
You
think
didn't realize how much went into it, right? Because you went home and did some research.
I definitely had some studying to do. I thought I was just going to walk up there, shake my arms a little bit like a flying bird, and the band would do what I wanted them to. No, I was lost.
Your Grand Rapids Symphony at D&W Fresh Market Picnic Pops, conducted by David Lockington.
David is here.
Who's here?
Now, David, when you watch an amateur step onto your podium and grab your baton and do such a poor job, what are you thinking? Like when you watched me rehearse last night, what was the first thing that went through your head?
It was masterful, Curtis. You know,
No, really, David.
well, I was just thinking, if I was faced with all your equipment and told just run this show, I would fall
Right.
completely on my face.
That's
you
true.
did not fall on your face.
I did not. I had the help of the percussionists.
That's
luckily,
right.
Luckily.
When in doubt, listen to the trumpet or the drums.
Well, so this song
Oh, that's good to know.
has so many different parts, and
Yeah.
I didn't know the song. Like that was problem number one. I had listened
No,
to
of
it.
course you got to know.
I had listened to it a few times, but I didn't know all of the parts.
Right.
So then I'm like lost, and I find myself just conducting to the music. And
Did
not
it seem like it was a 30-minute long song when
no,
you were
it
doing
went pretty fast.
Okay.
But I realized I wasn't conducting to the beat. Like I was conducting to what they were playing, and I'm like, okay, I need to stop doing this. And then luckily the drummer stepped in and got a little louder for me, and I was like, okay, thank you for giving me the beat. And that was nice of them because they could have just let me fall on my face.
Was it Mary who won, who will be conducting
Sally.
tonight?
Sally. And
So,
Sally killed it.
Who did better, Sally or Curtis?
Oh my goodness, I'm not going to be put in that position.
Because it was Sally.
I will tell you that Sally's son, as I left the stage, said, I said, yeah, that was fun. Did I do as good as your mom? And he said, no, you were just kind of flailing your arms around. I realized that I had been, because I didn't know, A, what to do with the left hand. Like, when does that, here's a little professional, like, tutelage you can give me here. When does my left hand come into play?
Well, there are mirror conductors. I mean, if you see people conducting marching bands, that sort of thing, they'll do the same thing with both hands.
Okay.
As classical music conductors, usually you do the rhythm with the right hand and the expression with the left hand.
Okay.
So you can show...
like up.
That's right.
down.
You can show
Okay.
louder and softer. You can show longer, shorter, all sorts
point.
of things. Yeah, you can point and be...
Flutes.
You can be pointy.
Okay.
Pointy.
Yeah.
Do you go to school to be a conductor?
You'd
Is it
better.
like, whoa, that was weird. Like a special, like something other than a music. Is there like a conductor's MBA program?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That's right. There are conservatories you can go to.
Okay.
And, but it's interesting. You can study and study and study, but it's like flying an airplane. Unless you really feel the wind
Right.
of what it's like to feel that resistance, you're just never going to know what it's like. And I was going to ask you, I mean, what did it feel like? I heard you talking in a previous interview about, I'll move it along, I'll slow it down.
Right.
What did it feel like?
I was lost. Like, I was completely, like, blindsided by how much work you actually do. You know, so I didn't know the music well enough, and that was my thing. Like, I need to spend some time today and tomorrow just listening to the song and knowing who's going to come in where. Because you had your music there in front of me, but that was, I mean, every part was there. I looked at.
Might as well have been in Japanese.
Well, because at one point I looked down to like see, okay, if I can help, and no, I was just lost. I'm like, I can't look there. I need to look around.
Well, I think that, it's a march that you're conducting. The pulse is the same all the way through.
Right.
What I noticed, I mean, you asked me earlier, there's kind of an inertia to the pulse of an orchestra. If you don't do anything, you can pretty much guarantee it's going to get slower.
Okay.
And the hardest thing to do is get it to go faster. And as I was explaining to somebody earlier, it's counterintuitive. How to get an orchestra faster is not making the movements bigger and going faster. Actually, that creates the opposite effect.
Okay, and that's where
How do you get it to go
drummer.
faster?
You have to get kind of smaller and lighter, and then you move faster and you get their attention.
Okay.
It's really an odd.
Okay.
Counterintuitive.
So where I was just flailing my arms,
sensation.
they were just looking at me like, he doesn't know what he's
You're
doing.
a big guy.
Right.
Your arm movements get bigger. The orchestra goes, oh, he wants us to go slower.
Okay.
Let's go slower.
That's
Now,
not-
this was what my thought was this morning, is that they have practiced this so many times, it doesn't matter what he's doing, right? Because they're not really going to look for Curtis, because that'll be a hot
well,
mess.
you
not you.
Well, the weird thing, actually, they played it for the very first time this week or ever.
Wow,
With
okay.
Sally just before you.
Okay, and they did a great
And so
job.
they
And she
so
did a
they
great
played
job.
it. They were playing it the second time with you. They can keep a pulse and they can keep it steady.
Right.
But every single person that stands in front of an orchestra makes it sound different and has a different effect.
Yeah.
So Sally was smaller. Curtis is bigger.
Right.
When they came to that retard and the sort of dum da dum da dum da dum da dum dum bim bum 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 ba dee da, that sort
Right.
of feeling. When you got into that retard, it got slower and then
'Cause I was
stayed
big.
slower because you continued to
Okay.
conduct big.
And I
So
thought,
you did have an effect.
right, I brought it down.
Yeah.
That's what I
Welcome to our show.
I am the fun killer. But that's interesting to know. So, because I felt like I should get big at
Yeah.
that point.
Let's see you try and be small.
Yeah, so I should just be giving
That's
him a little bit of this.
That's right.
Okay, and hopefully I can do that.
Huh, fascinating.
Because you're right. Everything in my head was saying, all right, here's the big, loud part of the song.
That's right.
Get big and then stay big.
And so after that retard, look to the drums and just give them a little circular motion with an upward beat to it.
Okay.
If you beat down, it's going to get slower and louder.
Okay.
If you beat up,
Just give him a little
backward circles going up, and it'll go faster.
and get small, and then the whole rest of the orchestra
Yeah.
will see that I'm
right.
small, and they will be able to do
And they'll
it.
go, uh-huh. This
This guy-
knows.
This guy learned something.
Wait,
He's
hold
a
on.
secret agent.
We've got a Christine on the phone. Christine, did you actually see Curtis doing this last night?
Yeah, my name's Kristen.
Oh, Kristen.
And, yeah, he was awesome, of course.
Oh,
But
thank
number
you,
one
Kristen.
rule of being on the podium is you don't chew gum.
Oh, I was chewing
Ah,
gum. I was
he's always chewing gum.
I did notice the gum.
I was chewing gum better than I was conducting.
And it wasn't in time.
Oh, I thought it was.
Did you actually notice that, David? Honestly,
Sure, of course, yeah.
that
Well,
is
you weren't.
Now, Kristen, are you in the symphony?
Yeah, I'm a violist.
Okay.
Good for you.
All right. So no gum and
No gum.
smaller movements. Now,
Yes.
did you know that when I got so big that you were going to start playing slower?
Well, I got to be honest. I just ignored you and listened to the drums.
And luckily the drum kicked in and got me back on the beat so that I knew what I was talking about.
She ignored him and listened to the drums.
She
David.
ignores everybody.
Oh! Snap.
Well, okay, maybe.
Okay. Well,
Well, that's good to
Tomorrow
know.
night I will do a better
Thanks,
job.
Kristen.
and
Good
you-
luck tonight.
You will not be ignoring me.
She will not be ignoring
She will not
you.
be able to ignore me tomorrow. I will do a better job at that.
Well, I was wondering earlier, people who are in the Grand Rapids Symphony, is that their only job, or do you have to have another job? Is it a life-sustaining thing to be
Oh, absolutely. For 50 people, it's their full-time job.
for 50 people?
And then
Okay.
as we increase the size of the orchestra for different kinds of
Yeah.
programs, those people are hired on a sort of part-time basis.
Okay.
But it's a living wage, modest, but a lot of people supplement their income teaching.
Okay.
And that actually can be quite lucrative. If you
Okay.
do the
Okay, so
studio.
you give some lessons, or you get.
Well, they provide an enormous service to thousands of people
Right.
outside of the symphony, listening audience.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had a
fascinating.
blast at rehearsal last night. Hopefully, I will take what I've learned from you and what I have been reading and watching and learning the song better. Hopefully, I will do a better job on Friday.
I think you're going to be great.
Thank you.
You have confidence and
Right.
moxie.
Well, and
Yes.
that was part of it too, because I felt like maybe I was too confident, and then the drummer was like, "All right, step it down and pay. here's how the song should be going."
All right, so we have a 5-pack of tickets for tomorrow night's D&W Fresh Market Picnic Pops show at Cannonsburg. We'll do caller 10 at 770-895-7 right now.
And if you're
5-pack.
if you're going tonight, those tickets are for tomorrow. But if you're going tonight, Sally is going to do a great job because she stepped
yeah.
right up and she nailed it.
Yeah.
like it was a home run for
Do you
her.
know? Did she practice? Do you know?
No, I don't think she knew what
No,
was going on.
having talked to her
Yeah.
beforehand, she had not practiced at all. It was funny though because is tapping the baton, is that like you yelling at the band or scolding the band?
You never tap the
Is
stand.
that what that
No,
means
no.
though? Is that what that
That's
stands
right.
for? Like you guys are doing it?
Yeah, I mean, if you did that to a professional orchestra in a serious way, they would basically switch off their
Okay.
interest in you.
Because Sally,
Then why do they always do that in movies?
Well, isn't that Bugs Bunny? that does
right?
that?
It is Bugs Bunny. It is Bugs Bunny.
Maybe. It may be Bugs Bunny who does
So
that.
Sally stepped up and
That's
tapped
funny.
it, and everyone like, ooh, kind of laughed. And then she said, "Oh, should I do this again?" And everyone, no,
No.
do not do it
That
again.
is Connie and Curtis, who's this on the phone?
Alice.
Alice, we got you tickets for tomorrow night.
Oh, no way.
Yes, way! You're welcome,
Yes.
Alice.
All right, hold on. It's the big show with the fireworks at the end. It's going to be a good time.
Very excited for it. And Curtis is he's conducting, what is it, the second song in the second half?
That's right. The Thunder March by Sousa. And then the 1812 Overture ends the program. And this is a program with some of my favorite music. This is the last Picnic Pops I'm doing as a music director. And so I wanted
Really?
to program some things
Wow.
that I really love.
What? Really?
I'm
This is the
honored.
last
And you
one?
know who's taking over after I leave?
It's me.
That's it,
Yeah.
Curtis.
I've got this special announcement.
Bad
You heard it
news.
here.
That is some serious
I've taught him
bad
everything I
news.
know.
Exactly, and I appreciate it. It was so good. Small
David,
movements. Left
thank you
hand
for
for
coming
rhythm.
in. Nice
Thank
to
you.
see
See you later.
again.